What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Solar Systems, where we help you understand the system your soul goes into. I am your host, the Real ArchAngel Michael, and I am cutting out the esoteric middleman and giving you the tools to connect yourself right to the source. Now, as you might have noticed, I did not say moon days because it's not a moon day. It is a Mars day. More importantly, Fomalhaut day, the day of the ArchAngel Gabriel, where the sun conjuncts Fomalhaut, basically ArchAngel Gabriel's vessel in this ecliptic. Now, before we get started and talking about my favorite archangel, you got to know why he's one of my favorites and a little bit about him. He doesn't give a fuck. Alright, so what's going on, guys? We're up in the spot and we're ready to talk about Gabriel and its fixed star Fomalhaut, or Fomalhaut, however you would like to pronounce it. Let's start off by talking about the physical characteristics of Fomalhaut, where you can find it, where is it going to be placed in your chart, as well as the spaces and constellations that it gave birth to. So Fomalhaut can be found in, right at this time of 2022, around 4 degrees Pisces. And because it's so large and far away, it has an orb of 2, just like the other fixed stars. So its influence can be felt from 3 degrees Pisces up to 5 degrees Pisces, but it's sitting in 4. It's located in the Pisces constellation, and Fomalhaut gave birth to the 10th, 11th, and 12th house. It's the last archangel in this ecliptic. However, in the spiritual perspective, it came first. So it actually gave birth to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd houses, which we'll talk about. Now, this star carries the energy of Mars and Uranus and Pluto. Some people like to say it carries a more Saturn and Venus type of energy, but you'll see why I say Uranus and Pluto when we actually get to talking about what Gabriel actually does. Let's talk about the houses and the constellations real quick. So from our perspective, with Gabriel coming last, Capricorn coming from the 10th house, Aquarius coming from the 11th house, and Pisces coming from the 12th house are the influences that it gave birth to. So from down here, Gabriel came 4th. And Gabriel has to do with transformation and death. Putting death to certain things so you can achieve a transformation or a new level of understanding, experience, or putting to death the old you in order to consciously experience what you want. Let's view this from the astrological houses and constellations. With Gabriel coming 4th, dealing with the 10th house, the 11th house, and the 12th house, we have to understand why that is. So if Gabriel is dealing with death and transformation, and Capricorn, the 10th house, basically having to do with status, Aquarius, your fixed ideas, your fixated thoughts, and Pisces, your dream, your imagination. Why does this matter? Because in order for you to understand what has to die, you have to know what you want. We'll put this simply. If you want a different job, then you got to get a different job and quit your old job, right? But on a spiritual level, this goes higher. Because if you want to achieve a different status that you have with yourself, a different level of imagination, of spirituality, you have to put to death a lot of the old habits, the old things that make up who you are right now. And as we transition into actually talking about Gabriel, this will become more clear, because Gabriel basically rules over death and transformation. It is the archangel that basically determines whether or not you have to go through a situation or circumstance where you have to put to death to old things in order to experience what you want. And this is not an easy and comfortable situation by any means. So Raphael is kind of the one that determines, are you ready to be reborn? If so, you go to Michael. If not, you go to Uriel, where Uriel is going to show you all the things that you need to learn and do. And Gabriel's going to make sure that you fucking do it. Because if you don't do it, then you're in for death and transformation. That's all I can say. And this is why I said that Fomalhaut carries a very Mars, Uranus, and Pluto kind of energy, because when dealing with Gabriel, a lot of the transformations and situations and circumstances that you're going to be put into that end up leading you to that transformation, you're not going to see coming. And it's also going to make it so that you have to gain power and control over yourself in order for you to actually experience what you want to experience, which is why this energy is so important. Because a lot of people, even though they may know what they want or think they know what they want, are not actually going out there and making the necessary steps to go and do it. And this is where kind of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces come in. Capricorn with the status of, this is who I am now, and this is where I want to be. Aquarius is a fixation on that status, on that thought that you have about yourself. But the Pisces energy has to do with dreams and imagination. So basically, a lot of times when people get into the situation, they don't realize that they already have all the things that they need in order to make that transformation, which is why this energy is so uncomfortable. Now, earlier I said that Gabriel doesn't really give a fuck, and that's not necessarily true. He wants people to get to the higher level of understanding and awareness and, you know, consciously experience the things that they want. But Gabriel doesn't really give a fuck in the sense that Gabriel doesn't really care about who you are and where you are. It has a job to do. It rules over death and transformation, and it's going to put you in a situation or circumstance that, even though it's uncomfortable, will get you to where you want to be if you can do it right. Now, Gabriel is also kind of sneaky and will kind of just show up and leave whenever he wants or pleases. So, for example, when I was coming down here, as I was, you know, jumping off my platform down into the earth realm, as I so do, I see Gabriel in the little corner of my eye jumping off without telling anybody. I'm sitting over here like, yo, I'm going down at this time, I'm going to be here, and I'm doing this. He just jumps off without telling anybody because he doesn't really care. He's got a mission to do, and he's going to do it. And it's the same way how he interacts with people. He doesn't care who you are and what you're going through. If you want to be here, he's going to put you there. But you got to go through this transformation first. Now, this can also be applied to actual death. People dying, animals dying. They're basically shedding their vessels. And in order to achieve a higher state, you have to shed yourself physically at some point in time, in this realm of reality. So, yeah, Gabriel rules over death and transformation. And honestly, that's pretty much all there is about Gabriel. Fomalhaut, the spaces of the 10th, 11th, and 12th house, which gave birth to Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. And he has to do with death and transformation. And doesn't care who you are and where you are. If you want to experience something, he's going to put you in a situation to make sure that you get to where you want to go. As long as you know, do that uncomfortable experience, because that's how transformations work in this realm. So that concludes the rural archangles and fixed stars video series. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all that. If you guys would like to request a reading, you may email us at readings@solarsystems.org. right there, or right there, wherever it is. I don't know, doing it after fact like I do. And always remember something: if you're going through an uncomfortable situation or circumstance, don't be afraid. Don't let the anxiety take over, because you have no idea what's waiting for you at the end of that transformation. So unfold your wings and fly high, y'all.